So welcome back, VMworld TV, Barcelona. Weather is kind of iffy, but we'll get through it. And I'm here with Maurice Pentel, the chairman of the Customer Experience Foundation. Maurice, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here, and a great place, a great show here at VMworld.
Have you seen any shows or any breakouts or the keynotes this morning?
I haven't seen any of the keynotes. I'm hoping to see a couple later, but I have had a wander about, and it's a massively impressive show.
Well, thank you for joining us. So, customer experience. I mean, we talk about it continuously as companies, directing our folks on what would make the experience of a customer better. And I think that your, I wouldn't say expertise, but what your deep dive is, it's about financial organizations.
I've been talking about financial services here so far this week, although I am talking about retail later. But financial services is a key area that's undergoing a great deal of change at the moment. And what customer experience is in financial services is one of the big challenges that all financial institutions around the world are grappling with right now.
So, I mean, from my past, and I've worked with financials in my home country, the Netherlands, is where basically you have a number of large banks competing against each other. One of the things, and I'm not sure if that's correct, I'd like your input on it. One of the banks in the Netherlands is right now churning out apps for the end users at an extremely fast rate. Is that something that you're seeing?
I think everywhere around the world people are doing that. In the Far East, in India, there is a banking app that is completely delivered as an experience, as a bot. And every major financial institution is trying to get that bank branch in my pocket in the form of an app, and that's one of the big drivers at the moment.
So based on your experience, what are the top 2, top 3, or top 1 things that banks are looking at right now to increase customer experience?
I think it's not about increasing customer experience, because of course we all have the experience. It's producing a better customer experience, and that really divides, I guess, into 2 parts. The first part is when it's easy, when I don't want to know about the bank, that's to make it seamless and almost unconscious, like a habit. So when we go to an ATM machine, we don't think, wow, this is an amazing ATM machine. We want it to be forgettable. But when we have a problem, or when we need to talk to someone, or when we need to go through a process, improving that part of the experience is the big driver right now.
But isn't that, I mean, that could be done by people. I mean, we're here at VMworld, we're a technology firm. How does technology help that customer reach that goal, or that bank reach that goal?
There are a couple of parts to that. So the first thing is that everybody at the moment is investing a huge amount in AI and machine learning, and all of that is underpinning what they're trying to deliver across all channels. So from a practical point of view, whether or not I'm talking to an agent in a contact center, or I'm having an experience in the app, or I'm doing something on the website, the requirement is to make that experience better, and that creates a huge challenge in terms of the amount of data that people are going to be having to deal with all the time. So, for example, one of the areas that I do a lot of work in is customer emotion. The idea that you're going to give me an emotionally responsive experience requires a huge amount of data to be live, active, and always on. And one of the reasons why I think VMware have invited me is because the scale of that data and the need to deliver it as mission critical, always on, always available, is a massive challenge where obviously VMware are going to help people.
Do you think we'll ever reach a stage that machine learning and AI especially is going to actually be able to fool people into actually thinking they're talking to a real live human?
I'm going to reject your premise there. The idea that you're fooling someone
That's
is
not-
is a really bad idea in the first place. So what I would say is that giving people an emotionally engaging experience through whatever technology or channel is something that we haven't made the step change to yet. And the reason for that, and I'm sorry to plug my own work in that, is because we have no system for understanding context. Now, there are two pieces to that. The first is how many things in your life are a 1 to 10 in the real world? How many things are a perfect 10 in your world? All right.
That's a good question. I think my
so
kids.
That's a starting point, and your kids will be pleased to hear that. But the second piece of that is, from a practical point of view, how many things are okay, or slightly better, or slightly worse? Too little, too much, those kind of things. So we're actually using the wrong scoring systems if we want to actually create emotionally engaging experiences. So the change to a system whereby that's going to happen is something we're going to see over the next couple of years, and at that stage, delivering a better emotional experience through a bot, through an app, becomes practical and possible.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time. I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy the rest of VMworld, and I'll speak to you, I think, tomorrow again.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Have a great time.